taking time out of his busy day, is our favorite alderman. He's 3rd Ward alderman here in Rockford. He's Chad Tuneberg. Chad, good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys.
How's everything?
Oh, it's kind of sticky out there, so that weather forecast is pretty accurate this morning.
I know an active guy like you's probably already been out, chopped a cord of wood, jogged 10, 15 miles, rearranged the furniture in the living room, reshingled the roof, something like that. You're holding up all right?
Well, I got to get up early enough to listen to you guys at 5 a.m., so...
Oh, even we don't do that.
You guys, for anybody that hasn't downloaded the WROK app, do you guys ever pump that?
Okay.
Yeah, once in a while we'll kick it around. Sure, yeah, we'll hit that.
Are you talking about the 1440 WRK app brought to you by the Seiler Financial Group?
The one that's absolutely free for both Apple and Android platforms?
The one where you
That's it.
The one
exactly.
The one where you could click on articles that we've written or download audio on demand of previous shows?
Or send us a note?
Is that the app you're talking about?
That's it.
Oh, yeah, you should try that one out.
And I get it. It is my favorite 4-lettered word, FREE.
Oh, yes, it is.
Wow.
Absolutely free. We don't buy and sell information with it. We don't do anything other than give you chances to win cool things. And by the way, we did not arrange for Chad to plug this. That's why he's our favorite alderman.
Best, man.
Yeah, that's why.
Yep.
And Chad, you were kind enough yesterday when I called you. I had a question about fire hydrants.
Which Chad gets often.
Yeah, I'm sure he fields a ton of fire hydrant-based questions. So this was, we had to sort through to get to mine. But basically, it was one of those, the fire hydrant in our yard and in neighbors' yards and basically around our neighborhood and a lot of other places I've seen, they're pretty poor paint condition. Mm-hmm. My wife and daughter, who are all about the aesthetics, decided the other day, well, we're going to go out and get some paint. We'll go out there and we'll do that. I said, I don't know if you can do that or not. Let me get with someone who's in the know and find out what the legalities are here. And you were kind enough to make a bunch of phone calls to important people and get that information back to me.
Well, if you needed to get a hold of people in the know, I don't know why you even reached out to me, but yeah, I thought maybe it was due to, I heard earlier that it's the woman who plays Lassie's mom. It's her 96th birthday today.
June
so I didn't know
Lockhart.
Judith Lockhart. So I didn't know if the combination of fire hydrants and Lassie kind of coordinated together.
I never put that parallel together, but now it seems very clear.
And it's Take Your Dog to Work Day. There's a lot of dogs going on.
Yeah. Well, I worry about Joe when he's walking his Siberian Huskies that he sees these fire hydrants and he himself may use them as a personal urination stop.
Well, I have gotten a couple of calls and maybe a grainy photo or two of something like that happening, but not enough to proceed with charges.
Never in the morning hours.
So anyways, yes. So that is, you do see that sometimes in other communities where sometimes a fire hydrant will be painted maybe the flag colors or, with flowers or something like that. And, I think maybe they tend to be in smaller communities, but probably maybe not always, but, maybe in a community where there's 1 or 2 fire hydrants in the whole town,
right?
The volunteer fire department pretty much knows where those fire hydrants are at. But we looked after further looking into, the fire hydrants are not on. Many people think they're on their personal property, but actually, you have what's called the city's right of way, and it's essentially from the curb into the inner edge of the sidewalk that would be closest to the house if you have a sidewalk. But otherwise, it typically goes in, I think, 8, 10, 12 feet in from the curb. That's actually city's property. And so the fire hydrant's actually on city property. And they do have a universal yellow color. And the city advises not to paint the fire hydrants. And in case, Riley, where yours is looking a little beat up, you can make a service request. A lot of people don't know about the service request. You can go on the city website. You can go under even the city website, go under city council, and then see your alderman on there, and it'll say make a service request. You can click on that and then put in your request, and it automatically goes to the designated department. And in this case, it would go to Public Works.
And then within 2 hours, Chad will be over to paint the fire hydrant, right?
Right.
sometimes the way my day goes, I wouldn't mind going out and just painting fire hydrants.
Yeah,
And
I'll take that.
listening to my WROK app.
Great.
Oh, well,
Great
perfect.
move.
Yeah, you got to do both those things at the same time. So there you go. I went to someone who would know or knew how to find out the answer to it. There it is. I had to break the news at home. Sorry. No painting of the fire hydrant.
Put paintbrushes away.
Now, you guys are being younger than me. Maybe you don't remember the bicentennial year all that well, but I do remember lots and lots of fire hydrants getting the patriotic treatment during 1976.
I bet that was nice.
Yep.
I do remember.
Yep. Growing up in Oregon, just south of here, I can remember that. There was a big move done to get a bunch of fire hydrants all painted up, flags and Uncle Sam and that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not in the bicentennial, so you're stuck with yellow and don't paint it.
You have to wait. You usually wait till the tricentennial to do that.
No, we're past the Sesqua, and I don't know what the 250 is.
2076.
So, yeah, we'll
Start
have
planning.
this conversation again right around then.
Start planning.
Right. So the Public Works will come out and get that painted for you if yours is looking like it needs a little TLC. I'm sure if you took some yellow paint and did it in the meantime, but I would not advise that, of course, when you can just get it done on that's why you pay property taxes and such. So for things like that.
Yeah, and when you call about it, make sure you remind them of that. Because there's nothing I have found that people in government like hearing more than "I pay your salary."
Yeah, right.
Remember that, Chad.
Yeah, people love that.
Please remember that. Hey, Chad, just got a call from a listener that probably to clear it up. I think I know the answer, but what if you just want to paint it the right yellow color? Are you allowed to do that?
Well, I mean, if somebody goes out there and kind of takes matters in their own hands, I'm not saying I believe in anarchy, but I don't know if somebody's going to get in big trouble if they go out with some light.
You heard it. Yep. You heard it right here.
He does not believe in anarchy. Yep.
815, 1440 WRK, 3rd Ward Alderman encourages citizens to break the law.
That's right. That's right.
We'll
they use a special paint. That's the other thing that I gleaned yesterday in a couple of calls that I made. It's not a paint that you can just run to your favorite hardware store and grab.
Yeah, but I mean, if it's looking that bad, and I would still put in a request if you wanted to find some paint that's the same, and you did it. I mean, I don't know if the people are going to see you and call the cops. I don't know, but at least call it into Public Works or use a service request, and they'll come out and give it a brand new shine. The way it should be done.
There you go. All right. Follow the rules. Otherwise, anarchy ensues, and nobody wants that.
When people start painting their fire hydrants, what can just be next?
Yep. It's a sign of turmoil. It's one of those quick signs of turmoil right there. It manifests itself slowly. It starts with fire hydrants. The next thing you know, people are straightening stop signs. I don't know where it goes from there.
Shoveling their own sidewalks. Come on.
Shoveling your own sidewalks. Well, one of the streets in my neighborhood is named Chevy Chase, and I noticed that when I moved into the neighborhood about 31 years ago, that sign got stolen about twice a year.
I've thought about it.
And then all of a sudden, the more people began to learn about Chevy Chase, that sign, I believe, has remained untouched for a good number of years. I believe some of the other people who stole it put it back. So now there's like 5 signs for the same street that say Chevy Chase on them now.
Don't need it.
But I remember after I moved in, looking out and seeing a couple of guys, one standing on the other one's back up there with wire cutters, taking that sign down.
Well, Riley, I thought, now your basement wall is all bare.
Yeah.
Now that you've put them back.
Yeah, if it weren't for the men working and slow children signs, I wouldn't have any decor down there at all.
Hey, Chad, what's the biggest piece of government property you stole back in the day?
Yeah, well, that's a...
Oh, boy, I'd plead the fifth on that one, Joe.
Alderman steals a fifth.
Yeah.
What about you,
boy.
Joe? Because obviously that question came from somewhere. Anything to offer?
I think the biggest thing, at one point, procured somehow. I don't know, one of the flashing yellow lights that are on top of the construction sawhorses. You know, the little beacons there.
Oh, the ones meant to protect workers?
That's the one. Yeah,
Okay,
that's the one. That's the one.
Joe.
I needed a light real quick, and I gave it back.
I needed a light real quick.
Yeah.
I think a buddy of mine and I tried to get out a parking meter one time, and it didn't work.
They're usually installed pretty well.
Are you guys old enough to recall when they used to have the road flares that looked like the cartoon bombs? You know, when you'd see in the cartoons where they would hold the round bomb that had the fuse on it, but there were road flares that looked like that.
Oh.
And I can remember a couple of buddies grabbing those for assorted tree forts and other things that luckily didn't result in a forest fire. But, I can remember those being grabbed up.
Right. And I don't know where it came from, but our bathroom at one of the places I lived did have a official no dumping sign on it. So I don't know who got that one.
I think that changes it to a half bath.
It does. Well, it's just a half bath. The plumbing wasn't good in that room. Yes.
I think you need to ask when Chairman Shirelli gets on and Senator Severson, you ask them that question. Put them on the spot.
I'll ask Kinzinger next time he's on.
Oh yeah, you know, if you're a big shot elected official, be prepared to be asked what sort of public property you've stolen by Joe.
I put their feet to the fire.
That's the kind of interview you run.
Yes,
that's the kind
everyone
of
knows that
you run. Mm-hmm. What else is big and happening in this city that you're fired up about, Chad?
Well, we got a couple things. One is City Market, of course. Another thing, last night I was at the concert in the park at Sinisippi, at the Sinisippi Band Show. A great country band there. My wife, Leah, who you know, we went there with my daughter Milena, and it was great time and a lot of people. And they serve. You can buy chips and drinks and such, and sit back. And it's again my favorite four-lettered word:
free.
FREE.
Yep.
So concerts in the park at Sinisippi, it's great. Park District does a great job on that. So then, of course, tonight in the Third Ward, we have City Market. Mm-hmm. And City Market really has just blossomed this year. It's just been a great crowd. I felt, hey, boy, we are back pre-COVID. So I think they estimated, I wasn't down there last week. I had a prior commitment, but the week before, I think they estimated 8,000. So the restaurants are hopping, and remember, there's for some of you late owls that want to catch a restaurant that's still open that you can sit down at. Lima Mar is open late. I had a constituent email me on that and said they had a great time. They didn't sit down until 10 o'clock at night.
Oh, that's awesome.
There, and
if you guys haven't tried Lima Mar yet, a restaurant unlike anything else that I've ever been to. Peruvian, they got very, very traditional, wonderful staff. It's uniquely decorated in there. It's a little gem down there. It's got some great food.
And you never hear anybody go, oh man, Peruvian again.
One more time.
Again, that's all we're eating lately.
Mm-hmm. Well, and they are authentic and great ownership, great owners they are, and just friendly people. And but they take it very seriously. It is very Peruvian. Yeah. So they don't go for the cheap stuff. And
there's nothing worse than knockoff Peruvian. Yeah, that knockoff Peruvian you find all over the place. You don't want that.
It's a good point. It's a good point, Chad. Just pointing out the great ownership and then how that place is run, because I know my way around restaurants and foods and whatnot, and I had no idea what anything was in the menu. I mean, everything was new words to me and everything, and they will definitely walk you through whatever you want to do and make recommendations. Maybe a little sample here will come out once or twice. Great place. Can't recommend that one enough. Good call.
Yep.
I didn't know they were open late too.
Yeah, you guys should be covered next visit.
Yeah. Yep. And if you're walking by, at least check out their menu. They keep a menu in the window, but giving a plug to some of the other places, all the way from Irish Rose down to Abreu and Woodfire and Thai Sisters and CJ's and Magpie, and we got a great sushi joint right there too, and
Omakase,
Taco Betty's, and Omakase, and there's just it's just a great place. We have State Street closed, so you can walk freely around, and it's just this year has been extremely inviting, and people have been taking advantage of it, and it's a great time to come down and maybe see some folks and meet some other folks and just mingle and enjoy yourself. So it really is something that we've needed for quite a while. So yes, definitely get down there if you can.
Say hi to Chad when you're there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ask him to paint your fire hydrant.
He'll know just the person for you.
Yeah.
He'll know just the
very,
person.
Very quickly, fellas, another thing with the city, I've had a lot of conversations with our law enforcement and stuff on different things, when it's everything from speeding to, you name it, to the ATVs and four-wheelers and everything. Just, remember, unfortunately, there is a segment within our city that just could care less about what laws are.
Right.
I mean, it's frustrating. I wish it wasn't the case. But really, our law enforcement are trying and doing what they can within the scope of the law. And those guys just, whenever you see these guys, whether it's county or city or state, but just, give them a hello and thanks. I mean, they really need that special, little lift. And, they're very much appreciated. I back them. And it's just, they really need that.
I agree.
Now.
100%. Yeah. Take 2 minutes out of your day. You might not think it's anything at all, but it sure does mean a lot to the person that you're saying it to.
Yep.
And
So
especially given the commitment of that job, a little acknowledgement from the citizenry is the very, very least we can do. Chad, we're up against the clock. Again, thanks so much for all the efforts in helping me run down the fire hydrant questions yesterday and painting a nice picture of what we got going on around town.
Maybe next time it'll be all about porta potties or something.
Wait.
That's
Man, how is it you're looking at my notes like this?
I never stole one of those.
You never stole a porta potty?
No, never did.
It's early.
You know who to call when it comes to the important stuff.
I do know who to call.
Right.
Chad, thanks.
Right.
Have a great weekend.
See you guys.
There's our pal Chad Tuneberg, 3rd Ward Alderman, and our favorite Alderman.
Good dude.